Today we're here from Oran Park in Australia, and this is a 12-turn, 1.6-mile road course. We're coming out of the front straightaway here. Very long front straight. We're about to pass the start finish right here, I believe, or maybe it's this one. Um, so heading towards turn one. Turn one here is it's trickier than you would think. Um, Basically, we have let's change the angle slightly here.
I can't pronounce that.
So we have this fast bend right here. And so the tricky part about it is you need to do some of your braking before that turn and some of it afterwards, um, which makes the whole thing a little bit difficult. You see, we come through here, we get on the brakes right before, and then we try to kind of straighten the car out to brake kind of in a straight line and aim the right side tires for that white curbing over there. Get the rest of our braking done, get off the brake. And you see I didn't do a good job. I slid the front tire through there. The front left locked up. It's just really easy to do if you leave your braking a bit too late. And you can lose easily half a second or more right there. Um, this turn here is a little bit tricky. You have a bit of a dip right here. Car kind of gets a little unsettled. You get back on the throttle. And then you have a blind right-hander coming up. You start turning before you get to the bridge. Back on the throttle smoothly. Another blind kind of dip into this right-hander. Track dips right here a lot and comes right back up using all the track. Blind left-hander after this right here. See, it took too much of the dirt, too much inside curbing, and trying to carry the right amount of speed through here is tricky. It's a long turn, and it leads onto a very long straightaway, so it's very important to get it right and carry the good amount of speed coming out of there. So that's a lap at Oran Park. Let's jump to the race. All right, so looks like where are we at here? We qualified 8th. Let's get to the start. See, it's a good camera angle here for the start. So let's back that up. There's lots of wrecking sort of right behind us. Uh, I feel like I kind of sort of instigated that a little. Um, Not on purpose, but um, so I got a better start than some of the cars in front of me here. And so I'm going to the left here as we approach this bend at turn one. And so this car on the far outside, I think, is a little surprised by me coming up in here. And I think he overreacts, I think is the situation. So if we flip the camera around and we'll go slow-mo. He kind of comes in and then goes back out and brakes a little early, and then that causes the rest of the thing. So I think, uh, you got to be really heads up on the start. Uh, it's not. We're definitely going 3 wide, which is challenging. Uh, the starts are always kind of challenging. Let's ride along with Moro here. Let's go in the cockpit view, so see what he saw from his onboard. So we'll go half speed. So we're approaching turn one, and suddenly there's a car there, and he thinks, oh, that car might come out. So he like lifts and goes wider, or hits a brake and goes wider, and then he's just along for the ride. Um, so I don't know. That's part of racing. Uh, I felt like they were going a little bit slow at that start, being a little too cautious there. Let's look at that from my onboard. Same situation. Um, so we go all the way back from the very start. So we come off the line. The 4 car in front of me spun the tires. We got a pretty good launch. I'm trying to decide, do I want to use this momentum I have or not? He taps the brakes right when I actually decide I'm probably going to go for it. Uh, and when that happens, um, so I felt like they were being a little bit too cautious. It's smart to be cautious at the start, but it's kind of a balance. How cautious do you want to be? These guys here bumping a little bit. I went ahead and pulled to the far inside uh, just in case that car came back out. Let's look at that from Jay's view. So these guys in front of us get together, do half speed. They touch a little. So I go ahead and pull inside, and then I try to stay as far inside as I can. Uh, and we still kind of touch as I thought I was getting close to clear. And then we come in here, and the 9 car squeezes me a bit there, which I felt was unnecessary. Um, I was staying as far inside as I possibly could, but oh well, incidental. The 9 is definitely pushing the issue, and now that caused me to be so now my line coming out of here, since now he's getting to my inside through here, I can't use all the track. I could see he's thinking about diving it up to the inside, so I have to leave that door open, which means I can't carry as much speed as I'd like to through this turn, which means I'm compromised on my line, and then on exit I'm a little too wide now because I'm giving him more room. Now I can't get on throttles early, and that 2 car gets a great run. The 9 car gets by. So now we're just kind of in a little bit of damage control mode here. I expect the 2 car to be fast. He's number 2, means second best ranked car in the race. Looks like him and the black and green Spark Coke car may have got together. The black and green car was pushing a little too hard. So I see the 2 car to my inside. I decide to go ahead and, I'm not going to fight that. Duck in behind. Two car takes a defensive line, so I go ahead and take the racing line. No point to running the defensive line behind him. Switch to a slightly wider camera angle here. So at this point, we are running in 5th place. I think we started 8th. It's quite a gaggle of cars in front of us. And then that happened. We can look at that on board. So I can see they're coming out of there side by side. You can see right here, they're side by side. We'll go half speed. And then for some reason, whatever the orange car was, 7 car, I think it was, decided to push a little wider suddenly. Um, just squeeze the car to his outside, and they wrecked. So now we are running 4th. The car behind me is looking a little bit racy. He's definitely made up some ground. I think he made up ground coming into turn 1 and 2. Look at 2 car in front of us. Slid off a little bit there. I go to pounce the inside. I had been sort of content to stay behind him, thinking he's quicker, and I'll see what I can learn and draft off of him and that sort of thing. But when I saw that little mistake, had to go ahead and seize the opportunity and get by. Using all the track on exit, you see everybody comes really wide, uses part of the pit lane entrance to carry that momentum off the turn. I'm checking the mirrors to see, is he going to try to use the draft and dive up the inside? I can tell he's not. Use all the track width on entrance. Didn't quite hit the apex well. It wasn't close enough to the inside. Again, missed the apex quite a bit. A lot of people don't lift coming into this turn. They just lift off abruptly to kind of unsettle the rear. Ooh, two car kind of stepped out there. I generally hit the brake coming out of under the bridge, coming out from under the bridge. I heard it impact. Somebody's wrecking somewhere. Ooh, got a shoulder check there. Hip check onto the that green car. This time the two car takes advantage of me missing my apex. So now I run defensive line coming into turn 3 here. So he does the crossover. He's got the inside coming into 4. I see it coming, just lift a little bit and tuck in right behind him. These guys are pushing around behind us a bit there. Green car's getting in a little more incidents there. I don't think the pushing and shoving is so much on purpose. I think it's just lack of finesse, usually by one or both drivers. The two cars doing a good job of sticking to the inside through turn 2. I don't think it was necessarily faster, but it's definitely safer. With that outside line I'm doing through turn 2, there's really no margin for error. Let's go ahead and go on board for a minute here. You can see in this turn coming up here, this left-hander coming up right here, it's blind right there. Like, where's apex? Oh, you're on top of it. This turn is tricky. It's very long. Elevation change, camber change, and leads onto a long straightaway, which makes it very important for getting the exit, getting the most speed you can on exit, because you can get to carry that for a long time. Oh, somebody locked it up going into turn 2. There's a big lockup on that blue car, 2 cars ahead. With this view, you can see a little bit of the elevation change and the rise and kind of dip right there of the track. You can come close to the inside curb but not touch it. Somebody had pulled off on the inside there. Something happened. Lots of kind of blind turns, undulation. There's another blind turn to the right. You can't see the apex until you're already turning in for it. Use all the curbing you can. There's cement on the inside of the curbing, which is useful. see that around a couple of turns like there, and again here. And again on these next two turns here, can get the left side tire almost to the cement. I think the difference between the fastest guys is how good they take this last turn onto the front straightaway. That's time to be gained right there. I'm being more deliberate right now of trying not to screw up turn two like I was missing the apex. The closer I get to the car in front of me, the more deliberate I am with trying to hit my marks. It's really easy to focus on the car in front of you, kind of fixate on that car, which can screw you up because if they do something erratic or they make a mistake, you're likely to do the exact same thing because you're just following them. Also, it's harder to hit your marks when you're behind another car because you can't see your marks as well. They keep being blocked by, your vision is blocked by the car in front of you. So we are currently running in third position. We are on lap 8 of 20. That squealing you hear is the left front tire locking up. And I lost it. I got just wide enough that the rear tires caught the grass, caught the dirt. So then I was trying to quickly get out of the way because I saw those cars coming. So let's look at this here real quick. Actually, maybe we'll go TV view. All right, I'll go slow motion here, half speed. Get the right side tires out of the grass a couple times on the dirt there, and then just kind of loop it. Uh, and then quickly see these other cars downshift a couple times, try to get out of the way, jump to the inside. Green car takes evasive action. I jump that curb really quickly. It's a steep curb. Um, and then waiting for these guys to get by to get back, rejoin safely. So at this point, I'm kind of feeling out the car a little bit, see if I can feel how bad the damage is, if we got damage. I asked my crew chief a couple times if we had damage, but voice recognition stuff wasn't working right at the time. I've since gotten that fixed. From this angle, the car looks okay. Driving the car, I noticed a little bit more kind of feedback in the steering and kind of squealing a little bit, but it didn't seem to be slowing me down. So I decided to stay on track. So we're on lap 10. Let's go ahead and jump to lap 11 and see where we're at here. Still trying to chase these guys down. Let's go ahead and jump to lap 12. Still trying to chase these guys down. Let's jump ahead. Lap 13. Still kind of same position. 14, still sort of the same. 15, something happened. Okay, let's go back to 14. And we'll go far chase view. No, maybe chase view. Oh, these guys in front of us. That red and white car lost it. 4 car collected them. 4 car decides to block there. He goes racing line and then defensive, chopping down at the last second. Luckily didn't collect us. So he spun there. So I'm trying to get as close as I can, especially leading onto this front straightaway, to get the draft and pass him on this front straightaway. So I'm a little bit more aggressive here uh, under braking, and he gets on the brakes. I felt like a little bit early and a little bit hard, and then I had to get on the brake later than I normally would. I would normally already be off the brake. Uh, you can see he's off the brake. Let's look at this closely. So he's off the brake right about here. He gets off right after this. Gets off the brake right there. But I'm getting closer and closer and closer, so I got to stay on the brake longer. Now I'm carrying brake another, I don't know, 50 feet, 60 feet. Well, it's too late. I'm turning the car, and I'm still on the brake too much, so I lose the rear end. So maybe he brake checked me. Uh, maybe I was just being a little too aggressive, trying to get too close on that, uh, and spun it. And so anyway, lost some more spots. So now we got a lot of ground to make up. We're on lap 14. Let's go ahead and skip ahead one. Okay, we just started lap 15. Let's skip to lap 16 here. Still behind. Skip to lap 17. Okay, we're starting to catch somebody.
Sorry, Nathan. I hit the grass. I couldn't stop the car. Went out on the grass. Sorry.
So the car in front of us is a little bit damaged. We're running in 7th at this point on lap 17. So it's pretty up and down. I think we started 8th and we got to 3rd. Made a mistake in turn 2. Lost about 5 spots. Made up another 1 or 2. Made a mistake on turn 12. Lost another 2. Other people were wrecking a bit or had damaged cars. So we're passing a few here. So very up and down. Usually now we're in 6th. Oh, you see somebody sliding back there in the background. It's a tough track to get a hold of. It's very technical. Um, you definitely have to have your braking points memorized because a lot of them are blind. The traction changes because with the elevation changes. Some curbs you can totally go over and use it, all of them and more. Other ones you don't dare touch because they'll throw you off the track. Very technical. You can see they caught some air right there. You can see how aggressive you have to be over some of these curbs. Um, so aggressive over these curbs here. You can see we got uh, some tires in the air, which is kind of cool. Um, yeah, it's not really a good, easy view of this rear chase. Yeah, I can't really see it, but um, you can see it kind of from that angle. Um, these left side tires are clearly in the air. Um, but it's a fun course. I really like it. There's not really a lot of good passing opportunities. You screw up on one turn, you lose momentum, which can cost you for the next few turns. That kind of sort of from here on, car has to make a big mistake for you to get by. Sorry, from here on, car kind of has to make a big mistake for you to get by because the track ends up being kind of narrow. But it's a fun challenge. Curious to see how it's going to go when we have 50 cars on the track on Sunday. So you're using all the track. You got to swing far left to far right. Feels like many times on this track. So going side by side is going to cost a lot of time. So we're running sixth, and I think that's basically how we finish. Let's look at the results. It looks like we finished fifth. Started eighth, finished fifth. So somebody else crashes or we get by somebody here, I guess. Let's go ahead and switch to the cockpit view. You don't want to touch that curb I just touched. It upsets the car a bit. This dip right here, kind of hard to see, also upsets the car. Nope, somebody got off there and knocked some cones around. These guys are snaking around a little bit on the front straight, trying to break the draft a little bit, and that's the end of the race. All right, so I'm going to pause it here, and we'll jump to the start of another race just to see something slightly different. It'll be quick. Just a moment. Okay, this is the race we had done before was race 1 at the track. This is now race 3. We have a couple very good drivers in front of us here, specifically Ellen McCain here on the right is quite good, and the leader up here in front of him, the pole sitter, um, very fast. Um, and so we qualified sixth for this race, and let's see how this one goes in comparison to that last one there. Oops, let me switch to a better camera angle. All right, here we go. Somebody started from the pit lane. It's a safer option generally if you're expecting a lot of carnage in turn 1, turn 2, or if you had a last minute change or something, some issue. And we got by like maybe one car there, the 10 car I think at the start, or maybe two cars. No, we're in fourth. We started sixth, we're in fourth, so we got by two cars somehow at the start there. Let's go on board and take a look at that here. Oh yeah, okay. Chase view a little easier to see. Oh, maybe it was fifth place started from the pit lane. He's not on the grid. At least not in view here for some reason. So we got around that 10 car. So you start to recognize some people after seeing them in different races and sometimes talking to them a little bit. So I saw Elaine McCain was in front of me, and he had I raced against some other places a bit and seen him do quite well in big races. So I'm pretty happy with my spot right here. I can just kind of sit behind him, and 7 car went off, came back on. We're able to get by him. So now we've moved up to third. The leader right now is the pole sitter. I think it's Alaise Pava. Oof, green car getting into it. Oh man, nasty wrecks going on. Uh, the pole sitter was easily, I think, a second faster than my qualifying time, and I had seen him smoke the field in a different race at the same track. Oh, and Elaine had lost it there. That was uncharacteristic. Um, so I'm not quite sure exactly what happened here. I think he might have lost the rear end under braking and then overcorrected. Lost the rear end, steers into it, and then it kind of hooks up. And so now that's unfortunate. Um, I didn't expect that. I was going to be kind of content just to follow him. So we are on lap 2. We're now in second. And the leader's in a different, he's class of the field. He's much quicker. So let's look at lap times here. So we qualified at a 1:14.546, and the leader qualified at a 1:13.333. So 1.1 seconds faster. Let's see what his fastest lap of the race was. Was the third lap of the race, the one we're on right now. He did a 1:13.239. For comparison, my fastest lap of the race was lap 5. I did a 1:13.997, and that was my only 1:13 lap. That was my best lap by more than 0.2 of a second. So that was kind of the only interesting thing that happened in this race. I didn't make any mistakes and finished in this position. So we're on lap 3. We went another 17 laps just like this. Oh, got a little bit of dirt there. That was my only incident points, were that little off right there where I touched the dirt. And Alaise ends up beating us by 10.9 seconds. And we had another 7-second gap back to third. And so, not that interesting to watch, but it's a good points day. I was able to get second against a pretty tough field that was having some issues. But thanks for watching.